All right, Maction time.
Yep.
So it's late February. We have the tournament, the conference tournament coming up soon.
Still got a lot of games left to play. Still got some sorting out to do. You got
a big game this week.
Yeah, there's a couple big games this week, but you still got a 1, 2, 3, 4 to play out. You got right now Bowling Green and Buffalo today are tied for first overall. Toledo's 1 game back, 8-3, but Buffalo has some work to do. Akron's the top defensive team in the country. Showed it last week pretty definitively against Kent State. That was a game for about 30 minutes, and in the last 10 minutes it just kind of fell apart. Once Akron's offense came around, which has been kind of hit or miss all year. And Buffalo also has a team waiting for them Friday night at Toledo. They beat Toledo earlier this season by 30, but Toledo kind of shrugs that off and dismisses that and thinks getting them at home, which they should. I mean, they have some pieces that can make it interesting. But if Buffalo gets by that should probably pave the way for the rest of the season for them. If they can get by those 2 road games.
Not only pave the way, this could prepare them for the tournament. Not only the conference tournament, but when if they get the bid and get into the national tournament.
What you like to see from teams, and which Buffalo hasn't quite got there yet, and Coach Oates has talked about it a couple times. You like to see teams get better, get better, get better, get better, and sometimes you may have to have a step back in order to have 2 steps forward, and I think that's where Buffalo has been the last couple weeks. They've kind of taken a half a step back. They've lost a couple games. Still, obviously, the premier team in the conference, but they're not quite clicking on all cylinders like they were earlier in the season, particularly defensively. They're giving up a lot of points because they're so explosive themselves offensively, but they're not locking teams down like they should. But if they can get that back and get better, which we talked about, then I think they'll be ready for a postseason. If they don't, now you got some issues, because there's a couple teams out there that on a neutral court could give them some trouble. So I think this is an important week for them.
For me, February is always an important week in college basketball, and I know we're talking about the MAC, but I'm going to go national a little bit.
Oh no, national too,
and do some old school.
Right.
Denny Crum at Louisville. Yeah. February was really important for Denny Crum.
Well, see,
he would play a great non-conference schedule in February to get his guys prepared for the conference tournament.
Oh yeah, well that's back in the day when you were in Independence and all that. But which goes to your point, I agree with you. I've always said, none of these conference races, none of this stuff means anything till Valentine's Day.
There you go.
And Valentine's Day is this week.
Yes,
so
it means a lot.
Right, because
from
Valentine's Day on, you can look up and teams that you're projecting now for the NCAA tournament and whatever. 2 weeks from now, you'll be sitting there saying, what happened? And teams you thought had no chance, 2 weeks from now, you look up and say, man, they got hot.
Right.
So Valentine's Day to me is when you really start seeing who's for real and who's not. And Duke, we talked about them earlier, may have shown it a little bit earlier. Now it's time for Buffalo and some of these other teams. There are a couple teams in the MAC, including Akron, that's starting to act like they want to step up a little bit Valentine's Day for a stretch run. So it'll be interesting. Toledo could be another one. We'll be interested to see about Bowling Green. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll see who's going to be the real sweetheart.
Right.